Hello, everybody. Today, I would like to share with you the harsh truth about meme coin trading. How harsh it can be, how difficult it can be, how frustrating it can be, and how it destroys you in a single minute. So, yesterday I recorded a video, it's probably out now, and I was up like 4 sol from my initials, and as you can see, my PNL today is 2.2 sol. So 95% of my port just deleted in a matter of minutes. And you ask yourself how that can happen. And the reason being is, and the number one enemy is yourself. You are doing something not good for you. First of all, is because I have been sitting in front of the PC for like a lot of hours, and at this moment I have to make a confession to myself. Maybe I am, what is called, I can't like do anything else than just sit in front of the computer and watch the Padre or the Axiom Pro platform. So I think I have to make it clear for myself and for new peoples who are coming in that trading all the day will make you lose all your gains, because you are sitting in front of the computer, you just want to bid every coin that spawns. So I would like to share my journey, not only the wins that I get but also the losses. And right now I am on a really big loss. So let's look at our portfolio here, and let's pick up this one here. So as you can see here, my initials were 2.3 sol. I deposited it around a couple of days ago, maybe 3 days, when Axiom Pro was down. And yeah, so you have I don't know why it's not loading, but yeah, that was unfortunate. So we'll just wait for the internet to be a little bit stable here. So I've been sitting a lot of times, a lot of hours in front of the screen. I was doing really good, I was trading really good, and I have found out that trading, I live in the EU, in Europe, so me trading at the morning is, I have a much higher success when I am trading in the morning. And when it gets to the evening, where US time and people from the US come on, then suddenly I try to lose a lot more. And I have been thinking about that, and I have also heard people talking about that. In the US times, there are a lot more scams. There are a lot more cheats. Their coins normally don't perform. So percentage of the coins that fail at the US time are much higher than in the Europe time. And I can confirm that. Yes, you can have some successful trades in the US time, but you have to also think about that there is a lot more riskier to do that. And I have been neglecting that and try to ignore it because I was obviously having very good trades, and before I knew, I was 4 sol up. And what did BagWiFLuck do? No, he didn't take a break. He didn't say like, okay, we wrap it up today here, you have good profits, just go and do something else. But when you are not sticking to your strategy, that is when the failure comes. You have to discipline yourself. And me, personally, I am really, really bad at that. And the punishment will come in form of this. Your losses will get higher, you will not think clear, you will get emotional to the coins, you just start trading random coins like I did yesterday. Even now I can't understand, but when I took a step back, when I see my soul balance is really low, that is when I start to reflect and see, why did you do that? And that is the harsh reality, ladies and gentlemen. That is the harsh reality. And this is most of the people who are trading, you will only see P&Ls after P&Ls after P&Ls. But in your case and my case, we are not in that league. We have been probably doing this for months now, and I can say I have lost a quite amount of money in this. And the journey, I feel like I am really close to getting where I can start winning regularly. I can feel that. But without a discipline, without a strategy that works and sticking to it, having a plan, when to enter, when to exit, how to find the good narratives, that is also something else, ladies and gentlemen. You have to pay attention. What is the meta? What is working now? If you don't know, then don't ever, ever try to trade. Because what will happen is you will just buy a random coin, and before you know, that coin is down 50%, 60%, 80%, because it doesn't fit the meta. And I am trying to understand this now, because if you see a lot of coins that are running, they are all on the same meta. So if there's a dog, or if there is like an animal meta, then you know that the cat, that the dog, that the elephant, that hamster, that squirrel, everything that has to do with animals, you have to watch, you have to see, you have to take a good look at the community. If there is probably some what is called famous accounts that are posting a dog or a cat, I mean, you get the idea, right? But most of the time we tend to overtrade. 99% of the time, when you feel like it is okay now to end the day, just do it. Just follow your instincts. And I'm telling you this from the bottom of my heart. I was feeling like now it's enough. I was up 6.1 sol. My sol balance was 6.2. And one stage it was 6.3 also. And what ended up happening, I tried to just randomly buy coins for 2 sol, 3 sol, and before I knew, my port was down really bad. And that is the third thing I wanna tell you. If you are in for the meme coins to be rich overnight, then I have to disappoint you. That will not gonna happen. So you have to know what is your port. If you are having 5 sol or 1 sol, then you have to divide it so you, I mean, the greed comes when you win a lot. Okay, the greed comes when you win a lot, because you are thinking like, okay, I was doing really good with 0.5, I was doing really good with one sol, now I will try 2 sol. Okay, let's try 2 sol. Bam, you are down 50%. That is 1 sol gone. Oh my god. And you're thinking to yourself, okay, next trade. Now you are starting to revenge trade. And that is the harsh reality. I'm telling you this from my experience from yesterday. I was sitting in my couch and thinking about how could I let that happen? And that is something like that is something like I don't know how that is gonna go. All right, now the P&L calendar is here, as you can see here. The Friday the 22nd, as you can see here, we barely made $33, and yesterday, Saturday, we barely made $55, and today we are down $218. But if you look for the trades here, all right, let's get this out of the way here. All right, look here. I mean, there is, and that is, and there's one thing I would like to tell you is, just when you have one really bad trade, one really that hurts a lot. I mean, I'm talking about if you lose 1 sol, if you invested 2 and you lose 1, or you invested 1 sol and you lost half sol, then no, please, that is telling you, just stop right there for the day. Just stop it. Don't trade anymore. All right. All right. So if I am not wrong, yeah. So this one is the first trade that I made yesterday morning. Okay. We invested 1 sol, and I think we gained 1.1 here, and then we bought again, I guess, and then sold for a little profit there. So this coin here, we FOMOed back in again, I guess, because it went really high. And then we have this one. This one was a really good trade by us. We invested 1 sol, and then we averaged it with another 0.5 sol, and then we sold our initials and a profit of 0.5 here. Okay, and then we also had a good trade here. We sold our initials, and we took like a profit of 0.6 sol here. I think this trade we lost on. Okay, and then you can see here we invested 0.5, we sold our initials and a 0.2 profit. We got another buy here, we sold our initials, and then we have some profits here like $43. And then you have one trade here, it looks like we lost on this one like 50%, and from here on I think it's just going downwards. On this coin here we invested like $300, and we made like 18 bucks on this one, and I think this coin went like really high. And you got another coin here, Nolik. I mean, this one got me emotionally. like seriously, that coin got me really emotional, because I was in on this one here like at the migration line, and it went like how far did it went, like 1.1 mil or something like that. It went all the way to 1.1 mil, and I was like fuming and thinking like, how could I let this happen. And then I start rebuying it and try to average, try to find the bottoms. Okay, I was selling, I bought like two sold here, and sold it again and again here, as you can see. Okay, you can see the FOMOing, right? I mean, I had the entry, but I didn't have the conviction to hold the coin. So if you don't have the conviction to hold, then just stop. But it is easier said than done. It's easier said than done. So as you can see, I'm doing like random, I don't know, I'm trying to average my entry here and trying to buy here, and eventually I sold it for a little bit of loss here, and yeah, and then I rebuy again and then lost some. So that is when the momentum of my trading changed. I tried to emotion trade. I I don't like to say this, but I started revenge trading. That is what happened. So when you start revenge trading and you start FOMO trading, then you are losing your mind. You are not thinking clear. At that stage, I would have said, okay, enough is enough. We are done for today. That is what we should have done. But no, we didn't. We bought in this coin here, two sol here. We got, I think, 0.2 profit here. But you know what happened here? This was a really good coin. This one pumped to like 400k, and I was thinking like, oh my god, what have you done again? Okay, do you see the picture here? Now you are having fear, you are not concentrated, you are not confident enough in your trades, but you are taking trades anyway. So normally if I have a conviction in a coin, I would like, and I would gladly like to hold the coin for where your strategy is. And my strategy is, I like to take profits at 120, but the migration line is so high now, 85k, that you have to have another strategy here. I don't think it's possible to go for 1x. Then the coin has to pump to like 200k or 300k, something which is possible. right now, when Solana is doing really good here, then it's gonna be much tougher, and people are getting more greedy. They don't like to. I mean, they are not putting everything into the table, but I don't know how this works. But you need to find another strategy than what works for you. So this means that you have to probably get into the coins much earlier, but then you are going away from the migration line. And so could it be like you only are going for 30 or 40% gains? Because most likely, or most coins do that. That's not possible. That's not impossible to do, but you can't have that mindset that the coin is gonna explode to 1x, 2x, 3x, and it can happen. I'm not saying it is not, but if you have the conviction on that, yes, okay. But if you are thinking like you wanna have small gains for every day, then you should change the strategy a little bit. At least take your 30 or 40% initials and yeah, move on. So on this coin here, we lost like 50%. That was the first red flag, and then we just start buying random coin here, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, and we ended up losing like 50% on that. And this is like, these trades are like minutes in between, and then we lost like you can see here the P&L on this one here. We invested 350, $1 to $300, so 150 in minus. Let me see, close positions. Yeah, I think you can see it here. Okay, you can see it here. Yeah, this is much better. On the saving coin, we got $39 in plus, and then on this coin we lost 128. The next one we lost $75. On the next one, 164. We had a little bit of gain here, and let me see. Yeah, I think we are on the right ones here. As you can see here, we were gaining good P&Ls here, all the way to here. But after that, the losses are coming here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so this is a harsh reality, bruh. This is the harsh reality of trading meme coins. But I'm sharing this because this is the reality, and nobody else is showing you this. Everybody is just showing you their wins, and only, yeah, for what I can tell, just telling you, okay, do this and do that and get my referrals or something like that. So this is what you need. People need to see more insight of what you are doing, the real results. That is what you need. And I think a lot of more people will get a heads up on this one, and I hope people will get a heads up on this. You have to be more critical of your actions. Be critical. You have to what should I say, this discipline. It's so easy to say discipline yourself, but you also have to make it in action. If you don't do that, then I'm afraid to say this is, it's not too late. Do not get into this. Meme coin trading is not for everybody, and I hope if you wanna try this, please do research, learn, paper trade. I mean, when I say paper trade, don't use a real money. Just come into the trenches and see what is working. Just let us just take this one here, okay? Let us just take this one. You have this coin here, and you are thinking, okay, I'm gonna invest in this coin. This is the migration line, I guess, 85k. Okay, here is the migration line. Okay, you wanna just train on your strategy here. Okay, so it migrated up, it migrated here, right? So okay, it migrated. What is our strategy? We want it to pump above the migration line, an initial pump. Okay, it does. Okay, and now we see that it has been going down below the migration line, right? And it came above. So here is a really good opportunity to enter the coin, and we did that. Okay, it goes down, but you already got your confirmation here that this coin might be going up, so there is probably a good, there's an interest for this coin. But like I say, it doesn't have to be like that. You also have to see, okay, entering in that coin probably not a good idea because the uptrend has been ended, right? You see here, the uptrend ended. You can see the signal line is below the zero line here. Okay, so we are looking for this blue line. This is what it indicates where is the trend going. Okay, so you want normally these two lines here to be above the zero line. What did I do? I entered this trade. That is normally something which you would not do, even though that you got the confirmation of this here, but you are seeing this one here is going down, then it just means no, there is not good time to buy. So we could have just waited to see the confirmation. But you can see here our average is like above, okay, right above there. It could be a really strong support here. Okay, so now you wait and see. It can be a little bit that is going down. You can see the momentum is probably gonna change, and when this one hits around the migration line, this could be above the zero line. And what it tells me that is when it does, then you have a higher chance that this one will pump. But you also see there is people buying this to keep this coin up, and you invest. So normally I'm just doing this for the sake of the video. I'm not like but you can also say I'm just emotion trading, but normally you would like to check the socials here. What is the coin about? Shrek Hulk. Okay, I don't know. There is 116 people are active. Okay, more brain. Go other holders. Okay, so as long as the but okay, it's actually rugged. So this is the reality of the coins nowadays. I have seen so much coins, they pump like crazy up to 150k. Okay, and you in the next second they are like down all the way to 40k. So this tells you holding coins for too long isn't gonna pay off in this cycle here or in nowadays. This is how people are cheating. This coin just pumped like, okay, this migration line was here, oh, around the 30%, like I was telling you, okay, and now we are down 30% or 35%. So what do you want to do now? Okay, that's the question. The coin is just ripping downwards. Okay, it's just going down, 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 down. So think about, if I have just invested 2 Sol here, you would have been done. You would have been down almost a 0.8, 0.7, or yeah, we are down 50% here. So almost a Sol here you have lost, and you are thinking like, okay, I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna see if this coin is gonna go up. No, it won't. Yes, some coins do that, but most of the time, 99% of the time, they don't. But if you have if you have the conviction to let it ride, okay, you do that. That is why you don't oversize your trades. If you if you are if you are getting greedy and putting in more than that you are comfortable of losing, then don't do that. If you have been winning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades in a row with 1 Sol, don't put don't put a 2 Sol in the trades. Don't put a 3 Sol in the trades. If you are not comfortable enough, everything that you do in this space is to have the you have to be comfortable to make this trade. Okay, and if you don't, then probably you will lose your all of your money in a matter of minutes or hours. All right, and as you can see here, if you have just waited now, okay, but I'm not saying if, I'm just saying if, okay, this coin has been having a downtrend now, but you can see the blue line has crossed above the orange line. It's signaling that we are gonna pump at least, okay, but don't try blindly on this one here. But you have to see it will pump a little bit and it will go down, it will pump down, and that way maybe it can get above the migration line again. All right, so as you can see here, the strategy that we have been using, if it goes above the migration line and it comes back again, you are probably not gonna do anything on this one here. But if you have also watched the MACD here, then we would have noticed that there is a downtrend going on, and probably if it didn't go above here, okay, if we didn't get these two lines above the zero line, then we should have entered. But now we saw this confirmation, down, up, down, okay, and we didn't see the MACD, okay. You can see that all the way from this position here, that the trend was going downwards, okay, even though it pumped a little bit here down, pumped a little bit down, pumped a little bit, you can see the you can figure out, okay. But as we are talking about this particular here, you see that the coin was almost oversold and the blue line came above the orange line, and we pumped like, okay, let's see here, 64% almost, okay. But just you have these indicators to help you, and you can also see the RSI here at this moment that it was oversold on this candle here. So it was oversold, a little bump, and then somebody dumped, and now we are moving up, a little pullback here, normal because of this pull, okay, because this leg was pulling up upwards. So it's normally that people who bought here, maybe they're thinking, okay, I'm gonna de-risk, I'm gonna sell it, and they do. You can see a big pullback. All right, it maybe could go here and down again. So that means eventually that the coin has died. Okay, so de-risking, probably implementing stop losses. I know there is so much thing that you have to do, but if you are getting into trading like with bigger sizes, then normally you should have a stop loss, because it's better to lose 0. Let's say if you are trading with 2 sol and you have a stop loss at 25% or 20%, what you're comfortable of, that will make, let's say, okay, that 15% of 2 sol, that will be okay, 0.5. Are you willing to lose 0.5 to trade with a 2 sol and maybe gain a profit of maybe 50%? Okay, if not, then don't do that. Just okay, just do it like a 1 sol, and put a stop loss to at 25% of your entry, and then you are just losing a 0.25. Maybe you can hit a 1x, 2x, who knows? But that is your risk. That is the amount you are willing to risk, and that is something that I have to implement my also in my strategy. But it's not easy. It's not easy. And if you are not disciplined enough, then please, 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 don't do this. I'm also thinking about myself. So long talk, but this is a unfiltered talk to myself and to you who are watching, who are gonna watch this video, because this is the state of trading meme coins. And if you are gonna survive in this space, you got to have a plan. You got to have, yeah, everything that is needed to succeed. And a lot of people are just talking nonsense, and yeah, they probably have a lot of money, that's why they're doing it, and they can put 5 6 sols into a trade and walk away with the 50%, and they are profited by a 3 4 5 sol. And but if you are not willing to put that in a trade, then stick to your small losses, small wins, and move on from there. So let's just admit that this trade here was not the trade that you should have been made. And as you can see, it is getting to an accumulation here. So and it is closing about, it's closing to the 0 line. So it will go like this one here. So eventually there will be more buyers than sellers, and it will go up. But if the coin is dead, then you have a problem. So I hope, if you are not subscribed to my channel, please do that. Like the video and share it with your loved ones. And I am not shilling anything to you. I'm not saying like join the meme coin space. But if you are not willing, if you are willing to try it, then you can use my affiliate links with Padre and Axiom Pro. They are both in the description below. That would mean you are supporting my channel, and I would appreciate that a lot. So You will save fees on your trading if you are starting to trade. But if not, then it's also fine not to do that, because this thing will get you emotionally, and it will destroy your days. It can do a lot of stuff, but the dopamine that you get when you hit those 1, 2, 3 x's, it is just not describable. And so be true to yourself. I know the reality is that people don't like to hear the truth, and this is the truth. I was up 6.3 years old, and now I'm down to like 0.1 or less than that. So please take this into consideration, and do it with a caution. If you're not trading with your head with you here, then you will probably end up losing a lot of money. And I think we are just gonna go out from that trade here. And you have another coin that is popping up in the final stretch. I don't know what it is. I only can see that it is being paid 7 sol in fees. It's not that bad. There's been talk, this coin has been mentioned in the Heaven or Hell group. It is a little bit positive. Don't have to be it is a good coin. Trust me, bro. You gotta know what you're doing here. Not everything that pops over here will fly like crazy. So as you also can see the arrow side here, you can see at this point it is at the peak of the peak. So you know that when it hit there will be pullbacks, okay? So you will probably think, oh, I'm gonna FOMO in. Ooh, buy 2 solder, bomb! It will go straight to 30k. But yeah, so use these indicators. They are like a helping hand for you to probably check if the coin is a good entry or not. Okay, even though it is getting like this, okay, but you can see around this, okay, in this line here, if it is get below here or close to this here, then you know it, for it to go up here it will be easier. So this is the MACD, and this is the RSI, and this blue line here is the EMA, I think, the moving average. And yeah, so I hope you enjoy the video, and you like the real talk about these coins, about meme coin trading. And yeah, so stay safe out there, and I will see you in the next video. This is your boy BagWiFLuck. Have a nice day.